Coming up next, Weeknight with Ellie Muller. That's right, it's coming up next on the one and only Nick at Night. When late night TV breaks, we fix it. From the gorgeous YouTube Dojo, and yes, we have a couple of Brooms here. You have your Brooms? You do? Great. It's Weeknight with Ellie Muller. And now, a man who's going to talk about Brooms tonight. Why? Because Brooms know how to sweep. Hey, it's true. He is the one and only Mr. Ellie Muller. Ha! Welcome to Weeknight Update. My name is Ellie Muller. What's up, grasshoppers? The theme song was composed by Dr. Mathis Piano, and Tori's gaming spot is Weeknight Update Storyteller. They are two of our Shoutout Spotlight winners tonight, along with Ebo Amity Dragon Ball 2004. Hopefully she'll return to this program very, very soon. Pierre Kelly, GD Cube, YouTuber aka GD Cube, Alex Gaines, Toons, Andy Bar Tunes, Rob Corley, Visionet Media, Lola Core, Call 3P Do Not Attack, Call 3P Upset, Small 3P Active, and Acre Train Rail Fan. Please check all those people out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to find out what's up. Here we go. What's up with Brooms? They know how to sweep. Hey, they can't all be jokes, okay? Hey, did you know that there are cinnamon brooms on our planet? It's true. Witches use them, and people hang them on their doors every Halloween. Hey, the witches will be mad. And hey, someone loves these cinnamon brooms from Trader Joe's. Why? Well, let's think of them. Why? Well, the person likes how they smell. Hold on. Brooms have a smell and a scent? Huh? Huh? Let's dissect the sentence very quickly. Alright? That person likes the way that a cinnamon broom smells. Meaning that that person believes that the cinnamon broom has a scent. Last I checked, brooms do not have a scent. So, right there, so that is very, very confusing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another top 8 list. MP, Pink Cat, let's go. Let's go. Oh. Right on, boss. Tonight's category, top 8 things that a broom can never be. Number 8, a friend. Number 7, a lover. Number 6, a dancer. Number 5, a tree. Number 4, a rock. Number 3, a guitar. Number 2, a fighter. And number 1, a marathon runner. Well, that was pretty ridiculous. You're telling me. Thank you, boys. Thanks a lot. You know what? Do our hashtag Weeknight Update, hashtag Ellie Muller for Late Night, hashtag Ellie Muller for Awesome, hashtag Fellow Round, and hashtag Autism is Awesome. Get those hashtags on social media, please. Drive out, like this thing, subscribe, and bell, share, and chat, comment section down below. But whatever you do, please do not go anywhere. We will be right back with the in-between monologue, Toy Story, a moment for everyone, all good time, random advice, and this week's Content of the Week question. Remember, this is still Weeknight Update, and now here it is, your Father Night.
When you can't remember somebody's name. Hi! Hey, yeah, hey! It's,
There's great TV pleasure at your command. Hello out there from TV land. Nick at Night brings it home to you.
Barbara, you went out to the showrooms to shop for carpeting again, didn't you? The 5th day in a row in this weather. And Barb, all you had to do was call us at Empire. You could have stayed home nice and warm and dry and let Empire bring the showroom to you.
I don't mind, really.
Empire has first quality brand name carpeting starting at only $6.95 a yard and delivered in 72 hours. And we bring the showroom right to you.
588-2300 Empire.
Call us right now.
At the end of the day, I love great movies.
Houston, we have a problem. The use of nuclear weapons has been authorized.
The biggest stars.
There are no victims in this classroom.
The best movies.
Wow.
Think about it.
Yes.
I'm pregnant.
What?
I get that a lot.
I want you.
This autumn.
Fine speech. Now what do we do?
Tune into
T. E.
the only one to turn to
Excellent.
for great movies.
Welcome back to Weeknight Update. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have one question for you. Are you ready for the in-between monologue? You are? Let's go! Now, we are talking about Brooms right now. Why? You can't sweep without them. That's why. Now, the best brooms were made by a company called Sale. If you're expecting me to say the Sale brooms are now on sale, then you clearly need to grow up. Now, people say that putting shaving cream on the bottom of your broom can help you scrub the floor. Okay, 3 things. How would you ruin a good broom? Okay, why would you waste shaving cream? And have you heard of a thing called a mop? Now, a typical broom can cost you $33. Let me repeat that fact. Alright, a typical broom can cost you $33, but some brooms can cost you $379. I guess the people who make brooms make more money than the people who fix computers. And finally, there is a broom called the Wisp. And finally, there's a broom called the Wisp. And it did so well on Shark Tank not too long ago that it ended up being a big deal on the QVC network. So if you make cool brooms and if you get everyone on Shark Tank on board, then you will be on QVC on January 1st. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Tori's story. Tori, what's tonight's big story?
Hey guys, Tori Mullins here, and welcome back to Tori's story. And so the next story I'm going to be telling you is about brooms. And here's the story. Recently, my nephew, who lives in Cross Hill, SC sent me an article about brooms. It seems the writer was remembering when he was a youngster and seeing folks sweep their yards with a broom. That writer had to have have lived on a mill village that and a way back before there were plenty green laws and lawnmowers. Anyway, the article set my own mind in motion, so here I go on a memorable journey into my past. Come along, and perhaps your memories will be stirred, but you will have to travel a way back if you are to keep up. When I was a boy, if there was a lawn mower in existence, it was not seen on the mill village where I grew up. I don't recall seeing a gasoline propelled lawnmower until I was a grown man. In fact, there was no need for one, as folk did not allow grass to grow in their yards. It was a weekly chore at the sheepherds dwelling to hoe the grass from the yard. Nut grass grew easily in the sandy soil at our house, and though hoed each week, it would grow back, and the process would need repeating in a matters of day. After hoeing the grass, it would need removing. Yard brooms were used to sweep the yards as clean as our living room, if we would have a living room. Both hoeing and sweeping yards were a way of earning show fare to be spent at the Liberty Theater on the square each Saturday, and I might have enough left over with which to buy a triple dip of ice cream at Metropolis poles on the square. Brooms used for sweeping yards had to be cut from the woods near the village. The strong bushes that were used for making brooms grew profusely in the pasture at the edge of Swift Creek and were easily cut. I am not sure whether or not I have the name of the bush correct, but we called the bush Goldberry Bush. I cut and sold a lot of those brooms for a nickel each. Yard brooms made from canes were better, but canes were scarce and hard to find in Darlington when I was a boy. Being scarce, if I could find a cane grove in the woods, I could make and sell cane yard brooms for a dime each. A yard broom made with canes would last for years. There was another kind of broom that was popular when I was a boy. It was the straw broom used for sweeping inside the house. This broom was made from the sage straw that grew plentifully in the open fields that stood idle year after year. The sage straw grew to be as much as 6 feet tall and would be ready for cutting and making into brooms in the late fall and early winter. The straw broom was popular and widely used for sweeping the floors inside on the hearth near my fireplace here in Piedmont. Stands what is left of the two straw brooms my mama used when I was a youngster. When first made, they were probably 5 feet long. 5 feet long. After a long time of use, they are now less than 3 feet long. Mama would sweep all the inside of our house, including the two porches. No fancy stick brooms in those days. To earn money, the boys of the village could be seen cutting and wringing the straw on cold winter mornings. The going price, if lucky to find a buyer, was 6 brooms for a quarter. Sometimes a buyer might even get 10 for a quarter. It would be hard to believe how widely used the straw brooms were. Old David, the black custodian at St. John's Elementary when I was a boy, swept that entire building with straw brooms of the kind of which I write. I can see him now, pushing his cart down the hall as he swept and cleaned the building each day. A large barrel filled with the straw brooms rested on the cart as he pushed it along, stopping at each room, going inside and sweeping. All the children loved old David. I never knew his last name. Anyone able to help with that name? I'm back in the early 30s now. I remember well the last day that David worked at the school. That's another story. Fields where I once spent hours gathering the straw on Saturday mornings and making the straw into brooms that are now covered with houses. I pass them at times when I visit Darlington. Instead of seeing houses, I see tall sage straw waving in the breeze. The two stubs of brooms on the hearth near my fireplace tell me stories of a time a person and easily bring tears to my eyes. Bill Shepherd. Mr. Shepherd is a native of Darlington, SC, and a current resident of Piedmont, SC. He is the author of Milltown Boy and Bruised. He has been sharing his tales of growing up in Darlington for decades, and we are delighted to share them each week. His mailing address for cards and letters is Bill Shepherd, 324 Sunny Lane, Piedmont, SC, 29673. The end. That's the story. That's the story about brooms. So stay tuned where I do the next story. Bye, guys.
Excellent job, Toy. Excellent job. Yes. That was an excellent story, Toy. Hey, let's have a moment for everyone, huh? Now, I know what you're thinking. Ellie, you're clearly doing the late night talk show that's unlike any other late night talk. You don't have any celebrity guests, you don't have a real house band, and you don't have the typical monologues or comedy sketches. Now you're talking about wolves? What on earth? Now you're talking about wolves. Why? Well, I think that you have answered your own question. So why would you ask me that question when you have already answered that question? Look, do not be so hard on me or this show. I know that this show is different and wild, but that's the point. Right? This show is supposed to be wild. This show is supposed to be different and wild. Late night TV is too dull right now. The same hosts do the same monologues about the same stuff, and then they try to make the celebrities do almost all the work. Then, to add insult to injury, they make us suffer through the same comedy bits and comedy sketches over and over and over again. Even some of the shows on Adult Swim are starting to be redundant now. I mean, seriously, they are being so redundant that nobody's even watching Adult Swim anymore. I mean, when was the last time that you have watched a great late night talk show? You can't remember, can you? That's right. It's been so long that the late night fans don't even remember the last time that they saw a great late night talk show, or really any late night talk show. Well, guess what? This is the late night talk show that you will fall in love with. It may not be professional or huge, but it has the comedy that you need and deserve. Is that more than enough for you? Come on! Just please give Weeknight Update a try! Hey, let's have a little talking time, huh? What are cinnamon brooms? Well, cinnamon brooms are the types of brooms that witches use. Now, cinnamon brooms are rustic-looking brooms that have cinnamon oil on them, and they are perfect for bringing fall smells into your home. Wow. That's something to take in. Now, while you are trying to think about that, think about this. All right? Some people actually put cinnamon brooms on their door. Yeah, apparently they are trying to keep the bad spirits out and things like that. Wow. Just wow. A cinnamon broom can get rid of the bad energy while bringing it. So let me get this straight. A cinnamon broom can get rid of the bad spirits and bring in the good smell. Well, I must say that that's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. But listen to this, all right? Somebody actually said that the cinnamon broom is perfect because of its smell. Well, at first, I thought, wait a minute, brooms don't have smells. But now that I realize that somebody actually put cinnamon oil on the brooms, I now think, yeah, that makes a little more sense now. Now it makes a little sense to me. Yeah. Of course, I must say this. I don't know if we'll ever have a cinnamon broom here on the program, because cinnamon brooms can cost, some money. Of course, wait a minute. As it turns out, the cinnamon whisk is on sale at Amazon right now for $10. So that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Hey, how about some random advice for the world, huh? If you use your broom properly, then your house will never be dirty again. I know that's not funny, but it's certainly true, so there you go. Always use a broom when you are cleaning your room. Never use a broom for anything dangerous. You will hurt yourself in ways that you will never understand. If an extreme dieter tries to eat a broom, then you need to get that person to eat real food right away. It's getting ridiculous. And finally, never pretend that a broom is a guitar. Let's go over this week's Comment of the Week question, shall we? Alright, here we go. This week's Comment of the Week question is, would you rather have a truckload of money or a boat filled with cockroaches and clocks? Go over to the post section of my YouTube channel page and answer that question as honestly and as thoughtfully as you can. Well, I'll see you tomorrow night, folks. That is the news, and I am Outskis 4x4.
There's great TV pleasure at your command. Hello out there from TV land. Nick at Night brings it home to you.